Hey everybody, my name is SirCrest, and today I'm going to be taking a quick look at A.R.E.S. Extinction Agenda EX. This is a upgraded or remade version of the 2011 game A.R.E.S. Extinction Agenda. It is a 2.5D side-scrolling shooter running jumping game. Probably the closest comparison I can make is Megaman, although I've not played many of the Megaman games. Maybe one, and not many games of this particular style or genre. I should also say that I already recorded this video, but the music they used wasn't, or at least the music used during combat was not made by them. It was licensed by them. So when I uploaded the video finished to YouTube, it got flagged. And because the combat theme basically plays the entire time, it was 14 out of 15 minutes was me sounding like I was going through a phone, because I would have had to remove the song. So instead, I'm going to play it with no music, which just makes it easier. Anyways, this is part of a backlog that I have. I got a lot of games in 2014, many more games than I did videos of, unfortunately. And I thought that I would just do a bunch of quick looks, like 15 minutes of within the first hour of gameplay or something. Just to give kind of super first impressions. Let's go ahead and get started. This was released October 3rd, 2014. It's developed by Extend Studio and published by ORiGO Games. ORiGO games. So first of all, let's look at the options here. Not many options. Resolution, window mode, which actually has windowed and borderless, which is nice. I don't know what the engine is, although it feels Unity-ish. Vibration, I guess if you're using a controller, though I'm using mouse and keyboard. And combat mode. I'm going to use normal for now, because that seems pretty balanced for me. And for my resolution, it goes with 2560 by 1600, which is pretty standard. Controls are rebindable. I have not used the controller, although I don't have one hooked up, so that's why. How to play. Some screenshots here, which are, the game teaches you how to play it anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So, I have played, as at the start of the last video that I did, I actually started playing about 27 minutes in. And it seems like it counts all the time that you tried to play. So it's not the time in between successful checkpoints. It's in between, like you played 3 hours, but you only got like 5 minutes into the game. So it'll count all that time. So I'm going to start here. Although actually I just made a mistake. I wanted to start back. Oh, there we go. Okay. This is where I started before. And the story is pretty limited, which I think is good for a game like this. Scans in to take significant damage to onboard systems. I'm just fine, just a scratch. But the Zitron infection is far worse than we thought. The station's drones are all infected. There are far too many of them. You require assistance. No, find Dr. Carson. I'll meet you as soon as I can to intercept. So, the idea behind the story right now is there's an infection on a space station, and you were tasked with destroying it. Pretty standard stuff. So what I do like with the game is that the controls feel very responsive. I've played some pretty bad platformers, and while this probably isn't a fantastic platformer, the controls feel pretty good. I can kind of, you know, for the most part, you feel kind of heavy, but for the most part, you can, you know, aim yourself back to where you need to be. And there's a specific upgrade that I got recently that lets me, do that little boost thing. And it's directional, so I can push up and boost, or go in a particular direction. I don't know if I can do it down, though. Nope, I can't. This game certainly is a lot more dull without music. That is for the sake of this particular game. I have two weapons right now. A single-shot pistol. Single-shot energy pistol does 30 damage. 0.2, I think that should be 0.2. Whatever, that could be clear. And then a laser reactor, just kind of like an SMG. Does less damage, but it shoots much quicker, like that. Slow one. I actually like the laser pistol, because some enemies actually don't need that many shots. And you actually get pretty used to the platforming relatively quickly. Although this section is pretty annoying. Although I will not say that it's perfect, it can be pretty frustrating. And I think up here, there was a chip, but I got that last time, so it seems to carry that stuff between attempts. So I kind of like the art style, although it's a little bit simplistic. You know, the stance is pretty lame. I guess I'd put it that way. But he was pretty neat. There is a very, speaking of, I think we were talking about movement, the platforming, the way the levels are designed is that there are really thin margins of where you can jump onto stuff. Like this particular area here seems pretty standard, but there are times where, you know, I feel like I can't get up to a point and I have to really focus on the timing to make sure I'm at the apex or, you know, the peak of my jump. So often I just use the boost anyways because it doesn't use up energy. That's a mistake. And he explodes sideways. I'm probably actually glad that I did this again because I feel I'm much more in tune because I got lost last time, which was not very fun. And obviously you can dash just like Megaman, or particular characters in Megaman. Again, it's been a long time. I would like it might be an unlock, which I'm trying to figure out, but it might be possible to upgrade that particular dash so that it damages things. You do have some particular unlocks, some particular skills. One is you can heal yourself, and if you notice, sometimes I pick up items, and that uses up materials that are on the top right of the screen. That can heal you, and that particular skill will recharge over time. And then you also have a like an energy fist. I think it's called nuclear fist or something like that. Blazing fist. Yeah. So it uses a particular, I think it uses up energy. Not sure. But then, an option that is not seen on screen is if I hit Q, it's some sort of solar strike. Strikes all enemies with energy balls. It's very creative. 8 energy balls, 80 damage each. Each target can be hit 2 times. So if you have 4 enemies on screen, I believe it will hit each twice. Very useful for lots of enemies on screen. Now, for the most part, the game teaches you how to go about these areas relatively easily. Although I did find that this particular section during my quick look was a bit, I love to use the word problematic, so I'll use it again. This area was problematic because I shot everywhere, I thought, until eventually I hit this, and it's some sort of key. It's a very annoying key. Or gate. But not a gamer gate. Also, I don't know why I'm not getting... Oh, I think because I completed this area, I don't pick up, you know, materials, because usually they would drop materials. And these things are basically instant death, and that was a mistake. I have to go back. Keep pushing the key. So I'm pretty much just going to go back to... Nope. That happened a lot. I'm pretty much just going to go back to where I ended the last video before. To keep it short, so we're covering pretty much the same amount of information. That was very dumb of me. I will certainly admit. One thing I mentioned in the last time I did this was that the... Oh my god. The combat, or the gun sounds feel pretty thin. There isn't much oomph to them. That one's a little bit better, but it's still pretty thin. Like it's as if it's designed to sound heavy. It's hard to explain. Like kind of how some dance songs have the uns type thing going on, when in reality there isn't that much bass. I guess that's kind of what I'm going for. It just sounds like a really limited sound palette, if that's even a thing. So in general, the sounds just feel a little bit thin, empty, a bit plain. Like when things hit. That was a mistake. When things actually hit, yeah, they just very tinny. So I'd like, I prefer the sounds to be a little more meaty, if I'm allowed to say that. Yeah, so you can already see right now the checkpoint system is, pretty annoying. just redoing a lot of the same stuff over and over again. And it's worth noting that the moment you go off screen, most enemies will respawn anyways. Like if I were to go back into this room, things would probably respawn. Kind of wish I could grapple onto to edges. That'd be pretty nice. I think we're close to the boss. There we go. Ooh, got it. Alright, so this is a particular boss, so maybe I'll go a little bit longer. But this right here took me about 26 minutes, because I was failing so much. So, already getting pretty good at the game, I think. This guy loves to push you off screen. See? Right there. Now, I guess what's interesting is that this guy is not... I was about to say he's not actually a boss, because he doesn't have a boss bar here. There are some pretty cool bosses that I've done so far. In the, only the 2 chapters that I've finished so far. They're pretty neat. Remind me a lot of those classic, yeah, like Megaman bosses. Or, kind of spectacle shooters. Or spectacle fighters, I guess that's the term. I have to jump earlier, I think. There we go. Then you shoot, like, weak spots and they break apart. Use my repair there. Want my repair to reload. Fuck. I hope I can kill him in time. Jeez. Wait, I can use this move. Yes, there we go. There we go. Thankfully. And I think this is where I was at before, and then some story stuff come up. Right, so that's sneak peek taste of A.R.E.S. Extinction Agenda EX remade version. It is $9.99 on Steam. Has pretty good reviews. And is kind of a modern Megaman type thing. Probably not as clean to play as the Megaman games, because the movement is a bit... It is floaty, but you still can relatively control it pretty well. But yeah, and don't let's play it, because the music will screw you over. So... yeah, launched October 3rd, developed by Extend Studio, and published by ORiGO Games. And that is all for me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, obviously, like with all my content. And I will see you next time on my next backlogged video, I suppose. Talk to you later.